What's up, people?
What's up, guys?
A whole new day with no Christian Olsen.
Happy Monday.
We were just talking about this. Welcome. For those of you that don't know, my name is Mike Frank with eXp Realty, Frank Oliver and Company. Oh, Frank Oliver Collective. What am I saying? Liv, the topic, the headline here is Frank Oliver and Company.
I know.
Oh, come on. We got to change that. Anyway, Andrea is here with me today.
What's up, guys?
Oh, boring. God, we need to get you more energy.
What?
And we're without Christian.
I stopped drinking coffee
Yeah. Why?
because I'm trying something new.
Who are you, Christian?
I feel like I get Christian into the coffee, and he's drinking G Fuel last week, and he's drinking all these different energy things, and then I come in here and Andrea's not drinking coffee.
I'm trying to drink more tea,
Tea has caffeine?
and I know
Okay.
coffee just gives me heartburn.
Heard.
Retweet.
There are things that retweet. There are things that you could do about that. Also, drinking specific types of coffee can give you more and less heartburn.
Really?
Yeah,
like
I
the
think
different bean.
I think instant coffee gives you less heartburn. That might just be my personal opinion, but I do believe that. Speaking of which, Liv, if you're not doing anything right this second, there's a Red Bull in the fridge. Can I have it?
Yes, I'll be
Yes. But no, the instant coffee, I find it to be really, really rewarding. And I was watching a TikTok one time and I saw that if you, I guess, melt the instant coffee into cold water, it's not as bitter as if you melt it in hot water, even though the instructions say mix it with hot.
Really?
So I start every morning heating up some water, putting some cold water, just a tiny bit, and some crystals into my cup. I swirl it around for a while. It creates like a coffee concentrate, and then boom, no bitterness, super great.
Interesting.
And no indigestion. So I'm about it.
Okay, so you've also experienced and have tried to find solutions to the problem.
Everything. All the things about coffee that bother me, I've tried to find solutions to.
Okay.
Fun fact, my favorite coffee is Dunkin' Donuts, original roast, French press, super strong. It is what it is. And a friend of ours told me one time, oh, of course, yeah, no, that's great. It's really sweet. It's kind of slightly bitter, but it's not too bitter. And I was like, oh, bro, I just know what I like. Calm down. Anyway, so we got to get you back into the energy mode.
Yeah.
We need to get some high calf tea.
Yes.
I'm actually going to look some up. High
Caffeinated
calf. Thank you. High calf tea.
So does this mean that you're going to stop buying those Celsius?
I don't buy Celsius. My wife buys Celsius.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Okay, cool.
I
got really worried for a second.
Why?
Because sometimes you take them.
Oh, yeah, no, believe me, she knows. And she's listening. You just incriminated yourself. She knows. She says it all the time. She's like, I'm like, yeah, but John buys them. She's like, but that's not everybody.
Mom, I just need help sometimes.
The happy love. High calf breakfast blend, Republic of Tea bags. Which, it's true. I got nothing. I'm just going to leave. Yeah. Anyway.
This is a great start.
This is a great start to the day. So, yesterday we were talking about picking the right real estate agent. Even today on the Fast Forward movement, which if you guys don't know, we're a part of an organization nationwide with some really great agents through eXp Realty primarily that's called the Fast Forward movement. It's headed by Dan Beer and Kyle Whistle and some of our really, really great leaders. And they were even talking about how to get a really solid relationship with your consumer base, which is kind of the inverse of how to get a solid relationship with your agent. And 5 ways that you can make the most money, be profitable in selling your home. And lo and behold, the first one is work with a great agent, right? Mm-hmm. So if you guys are out there meeting with somebody, talking with somebody, and you're at a coffee shop and they say, oh, you're a real estate agent, can you help me? Well, that could be a really great reference point, but I think you need to interview. You need to find someone that you trust and you can confide in. Like we have events and we bring clients to our office and we talk with them about their needs on a routine basis, whether it's the investor groups or the meetup groups or generational wealth seminars. We're creating opportunity for people to I guess, build rapport through our knowledge is kind of what I'm trying to say. And finding that agent that you can trust is obviously the most important thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think definitely one of our pillars, like just the, confidence through education. I think that goes for the consumer just as much as us. They want to feel confident in their investment and, their movements through real estate. So, they look to us for that knowledge.
Yeah, I think whether it's through a TikTok post that somebody saw and they forward it to you for your opinion, or whether it's something that maybe, a new law changed, or even just listening to a podcast, like you heard something, you want to know more about it, and you should be relying on somebody that you trust to bring that value to your table. Yeah. I said yesterday that your real estate agent should really do these quote unquote 5 tips to maximize productivity when selling your home, right? Your real estate agent should help you timing the sale. Your real estate agent should help you pricing correctly and marketing the home and sprucing up and creating value behind staging and negotiating and all the other things that we do. But what would you say is the most important value or most impactful value that a real estate agent can have in the process of selling someone's home?
I would say in the process of selling their home is making sure that they, I guess, feel taken care of. At the end of the day, they're making a move, and I guess it would be their secondary move because it's they're selling. It's
so funny because time and timing the market is so important. And when our clients talk to me about timing the market and positioning their home, spring market is better, right? I should wait. We shouldn't sell now. Sometimes the response is, well, now is the best time for you, right? So like we can wait for everyone else, but if you wait, you're going to miss out on this opportunity that your employer is giving you, or you're going to miss out on that house that you really want, or you're going to miss out on the grant programs that are coming available. Literally one just came available today, right? Or Friday. So timing is also impactful when somebody's saying to their agent, like, how can you help me? And you're saying, well, I'm going to hear you. I'm going to hear your thoughts. I'm going to represent you because of what you've told me. And I do agree. I think that listening to our clients is probably like the most important value.
Yeah. I mean, especially for the ones that want to be listened to, because there are some that are just like, hey, like you do it, like, what's best. And, they give you full, range without any question, but you do have to have. And then there's the other ones right, that want to tell you what to do. Yeah. Right. And we're dealing with that right now. Really delicate situation with one of our sellers that wants to dictate the price. It's like, okay, you could dictate the price. Let me help you understand why my fear is with listing at that price. Because ultimately, price is something that we're going to come together on, right? You guys are going to position the home as far as the condition. We're going to position it as far as the marketability, but price is the piece that we can't do without you. And I think that's a big one. A lot of owners want to dictate the price of their home. And sometimes it's better to say to them, hey, if you want to sell this home for $475, maybe you should be positioning this home at $445 because it's going to help you. It's going to time your market. It's going to get the home sold. And while we might be able to get $450 or $460, and that's not $475, that $15,000 that we're losing, well, what happens if your house is on the market for 3 months or 6 months or 9, right? At $1,500 a month for 9 months, I mean, all of a sudden that $15,000 just went away. And that's presuming that you can sell it at that top dollar price. So I do think that it comes down to the seller that wants to listen to you. And it's the person that wants to communicate. I mean, you said it best. There's some people that want you to do it. Yeah. And I'm almost like, well, but we have to do it together, right? Like, I don't want to take this out of your mouth. We have to do it together. And then there's other sellers that want to tell you what to do. Yeah. 100%. I don't know. I think one of the biggest things that we see, how did they phrase it today? In the mastermind or the? Yeah, it was something to the effect of, when you have the opportunity to see an investment, run it by me, because I don't want to be the one that's stuck with it. That gets stuck with it, yeah. When it can't sell, or when it's not a good investment, or something to that effect. And it's so interesting because it's like our job, right? Like, shouldn't we be the first point of contact when you're thinking about investing? Yeah. I don't know.
I feel that hearing your goals and your objectives is what we're here for. That's the best way that we can kind of be a sounding board towards your investment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, here's another thought. If we are on this train together and we're supposed to represent someone, if our job is to negotiate to the best deal, how do we find that? How do we position ourselves in the best way to make that happen?
Well, I mean, I think every real estate agent is different, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not every real estate agent, or I guess not every agent communicates with the listing agent, for example. You
Okay.
know? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that's what I was taught. And that's what, I mean, I feel like everyone else does on the team is, you know, contact a listing agent, you know, try to get a report from them. You know, it's not necessarily saying like, hey, like, you know, like, would your seller accept this price? But it's more so just having the conversation between two agents like, hey, you know, what's your seller looking at? Like, is there anything else that I can add to my offer besides price point? You know, like how flexible are they? And, you know, any seller concession if you're looking to ask on that. You know, is your seller a, you know, just a regular person, or is it an investor? Like, is it, you know, so there's just so many things that you can have in conversation with the listing agent to help your positioning.
Yeah, I'm reading our script here, and it's talking about like the position that you can put negotiating clauses, right? Not just price, not just timeline, but what if we have multiple bidders? What if there's multiple opportunities for the buyer to terminate the contract, or seller concessions? What if we look at things like the date of settlement? Especially with that seller that's an investor, maybe they're more focused on getting that money because they've already prioritized their next job. Or maybe it's vice versa. Maybe they don't want to settle yet this year because settling in December means that they have a huge tax liability. Whereas if they settle in January, just 1 week later, it can really change the objectivity of the seller's position. So where one agent may come in and say, hey, my buyer's ready to settle now. We could settle in 30 days. They want to get moving quickly. This is really important to them. They might be bringing an offer and a price that's really approachable to the seller. But if my buyer is coming in saying, hey, look, we understand the sensitivity of today's market. What would be the most advantageous for your seller? And the listing agent told us that they really want to try and settle a week later, a month later, whatever that might be. That can have a good position for us.
Yeah.
Even today, I was negotiating with a listing agent. I represent the buyer, and the buyer had a huge ask after the home inspection. And the listing agent said, point blank, I think this deal is dead. And I didn't argue with him because I would never do that, but I positioned ourselves in a way to explain to the listing agent, if this deal is dead today, look at what you have in your hand. Look at the position that you put your sellers in. This is the best marketable position to sell this home. And if you don't take this route, you're going to have to sell this to an investor with cash. So by looking at it from the perspective of this deal is dead, you're creating a non-option to get paid. What if we work together here and shared with the seller the value that the buyers see and find a way to make this work where both parties can see this to fruition? Because this is a conventional deal. Mm-hmm. This is a conventional appraisal. This is a standard home inspection. The buyers aren't terminating the contract, but they are asking for a huge request. And your sellers have to find a way to make this work, or they're going to be losing, for lack of better terminology, losing their ass.
Yeah.
And, you know, the listing agent wants to say, oh, well, my people don't have a lot of money and they're going through a divorce and they're going through this and they're going through that and they haven't owned this property for very long. Mm-hmm. And me, armed with the knowledge and the education, I said, you know, just to go back to something you said, you had mentioned that the sellers haven't owned this property very long, but I'm seeing that they've owned this for coming up on 20 years. Well, I think they refinanced recently and they're just underwater. Well, I'm looking at the deed of trust here and I can see that there's not been a refinance on record since they purchased the property in 2006. Well, And it's almost positioning himself out of the market because he's not actually paying attention. He's just pulling at strings, hoping that something pulls.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're really negotiating for your client's best position, are you listening to them and understanding why they want to do it and positioning them in a way that's really going to maximize your opportunity? It's not about productivity. It's not about profit. It's opportunity. If a seller needs to sell and they want to get sold by X time, sometimes it's not about price. And if a buyer wants to buy and they want to buy by X time, sometimes it's not about price.
Yeah.
But if that's what you focus on, you've just barked up the wrong tree.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I think it's interesting with as much as changing in the marketplace and as many opportunities are being presented, especially now that we're rolling into 2024, there's so much change that's happening that if you've chosen your family friend or your neighbor to represent you in what's probably the biggest transaction of your life, are you even going to have the wherewithal to know when you have rights to ask for a repair, rights to ask for a credit, rights to ask for a grant program or a down payment assistance? Or are you just going to the first person that sounds like they can do the job?
Yeah.
I think it's so easy to be able to say, oh, I've chosen this person to represent me, but it's a question of what's going to be the most marketable position for you as a buyer or a seller in today's market. And I think the opportunity is strong for you to see, so much value with all the content that's out there. This podcast is no different. I would wonder, I'm curious. Actually, I'm going to ask this question. How do you feel that our team differentiates from other teams in the market that a consumer could identify? That's why I've chosen to work with them.
I think a lot of teams, well, I won't think.
I'm going to make notes too while I think about it.
I think our team is different just based on how much we are interlocked in our systems. What I mean by that is, kind of the process of lead come to us, become a client, get the process started, whether that be with having a relationship with, Ryan Curley or, any other of our affiliates, kind of creating that relationship to start the process. And then, starting to submit offers, getting offer accepted, transitioning into John and the role that he has, with the team, then with the client, and then, them with Liv, that, Liv is all the fun stuff, of course. So just everything together pulls really nicely with our systems, with everyone that plays a role in that area. So I feel like that's kind of like what makes us different for sure. I want to say our systems.
I also think our systems, and what I wrote was our approach to marketing and building value for our clients to understand their investment. And I don't mean like educationally, I mean seeing the systems in action, even something as small as showing time, which, by the way, every real estate agent has. Like, don't act like it's something special, but it's something that literally shows the client there's an agent showing the property at this time. This is the time that you can return to the home. This agent is licensed with this broker. This agent has, XYZ liability. I don't want to go into like insurance and permits and whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. But I mean, just the expressive communication that we can have to give the value and show the value. Like you said, Liv reaching out to a seller and, hey, here's your listing and this is what we did and this is what your open house looks like and this is how many buyers came to your open house. It's the approach that we have to build value and put the clients in a position to understand their investment through the tools and technology and the people that we have. Yeah. The other one that I wrote down, and I think it's kind of interesting, we can go on and on and on about this, but the way that we've positioned ourselves in the market, buying and investing in our market, not waiting for the market to change. And what I mean by this is, if you don't know, we bought a property last year. We're almost done renovating, right? We should be done in a couple weeks and we should be moved in. So exciting, but also It wasn't a wait for the market to change. It wasn't a wait for a lower interest rate or wait for a better opportunity. It was buy now and show people how to make real estate happen no matter what the outside influence is doing. And I think when you're working with a real estate agent that has never bought a home, you want them to have the knowledge of how the process works. When you're working with a real estate agent that has never invested in real estate, you want them to have a knowledge of how the process works. When you're working with an agent that might be brand new to the industry, you want them to have the backing and support of someone or some team that has done hundreds and hundreds of transactions. And I think by positioning ourselves in the market and acting in the uncertainty that has been in the last 12 months, we're not just here spitting it and saying, you should do this and it's a great time to buy. We're putting our actual money where their mouth is, saying, if you're not buying, we're going to buy.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're not going to buy, I'm going to buy this house. I mean, you're in the market to buy another investment. You guys, your family bought one 3 months ago?
Last month, actually.
Last month?
Yeah.
Was it really? Oh my God.
I know.
I feel like time has flown. But and then you guys are in the market to buy again. And then you're in the market to buy another primary. I mean, there's so many things. Positioning ourselves in the market is such a big impact factor. And it's not like, I can do it, let me show you how I do it. It's like, let me educate you and let me double down by proving to you that that TV that you saw at Best Buy, that the guy goes, yeah, I have one of these in my living room. Well, yeah, no shit, you have a TV in your living room, but I don't trust you for a second that you have this LG that just came out last month, right? It's a sales pitch thing, but we actually put roots down, and there's data and there's history to show that we have the knowledge in today's market. And I think that's something that we do differently.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I feel like we have a lot of roots in different places, if you will.
I think that's true. I even think little things where sometimes I see real estate agents, and actually this is a conversation I had this weekend. I see real estate agents that post constantly, just sold, just sold, just sold. Look at my happy clients. Oh my God, I just listed another house. Oh my God, I'm under contract on my 17th house for the month, right? Which I think there is a place for. And I do think that it's valuable. I think that if you're not doing it, you're disappearing. But the same exact person that I saw do that all the time, this year, I texted her last week and I said, hey, how's it been? It's been way too long. She said, of course, blah, blah, blah. I said, what's been going on in life? She said, life is great. How is business? I said, business is wonderful. I feel like I never see you. And she's like, yeah. She immediately, yeah, I stopped posting so much to social media because I felt like it was just bragging and it didn't do me any good. And I said, it was just bragging. But it does do you good. But I'll tell you, it's really cool to see you so happy with your kids and your family and your husband. Like, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Now go back to bragging, right? Like there's a time and a place for both.
Yeah.
So when you see our team positioning ourselves at national conferences and events and, oh, look at me, I'm at this event and oh, I just met this person. It's not bragging in a bad way. It's bragging in a way that we have the education and experience to support you through your biggest investment.
Yeah.
And that I think is different from most people. I think most people just sit there and go, just listed, just sold, under contract, 17 for the month, right? Like, really, really impressive. But what if it was, hey, I just sold this home. And then the next post was, Sally Sue, how does it feel to be a homeowner? And she's like, oh my God, it feels amazing. And you're the best. And I can't believe you came out on your birthday and you helped me buy this house, which I love so much. And I'm so excited to be the first homeowner to buy a house in my family. And then the next post that you had was your dog. And then the next post that you had was you driving and almost getting into a car accident because you're looking at that cute house in your neighborhood, which is like your guilty pleasure. There's nothing wrong with that. But by having the team that's doing that and by showing you their past history of success, I feel like we're affirming the value in what you've chosen to follow, what you've chosen to do.
Yeah.
And yet in every other industry, it's okay. But in real estate, it's just bragging.
Yeah. Well, I think that nice balance, that nice mixture is also just that you can relatability to somebody that makes you feel comfortable.
I agree. We're going to give Andrea a rule. The rule?
I have a full-time job.
Now you have to drink every day before you get on the podcast because you are not exciting enough. Oh my goodness gracious. Anyway, so you guys, if you don't already know, you can read about this. Liv put together five best kept strategies to make money when selling your home. By the way, these kind of flip-flop for buying a home. It's pretty much the exact same content. You can always find it on our website at frankoliverco.com under additional resources /blog. You can find today's blog. You can always watch us on YouTube. And if you're subscribing, thank you so much.
YouTube.
You can reach me on Instagram at michael.frank___. Andrea, where can all the people reach you? But now that you have to pick up your energy and yell it.
Y'all can reach me on Instagram, Andrea_Soto.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Well, we really appreciate you coming to hang out. We look forward to chatting with you guys real soon. And if you do have any questions, you know where to reach us. But please, please, please subscribe, and we'll talk to you real soon.
Bye.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.